Hi, this is Samantha K, host of the Samantha K Experience. Welcome to episode 6 of the podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Lore Olympus, and this is part 3. And my special guest, you've probably heard her before. We spoke about this Webtoon several times already. My guest is Abigail Marrera of Motion Company. Welcome to the show again, my dear.
Hey, what's up, my love? I'm so happy I came the third time to talk about this awesome book. Because you know I don't read no graphic novel, but this one here, you guys, I gotta say this one is more than just a cartoon book or whatever you guys call it. It's just a good book. It's just a good book. Yeah. I have to praise it. It's so good.
Yeah. For those of you who are maybe first time listeners, Abby actually put me onto this webtoon a long time ago. I don't remember when I first started reading it, but I've been hooked ever since. I've been doing the fast pass nonstop. I'm pretty sure a lot of my money went into reading this book.
Me too, man.
And I think it's because I always wanted to know what was going to happen next. So I just couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to just read it regularly. I needed to do the fast pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a lot to cover because season 2 was a lot of stuff that was that happened, including I guess the discovery of Hades finding out what happened with Persephone and Apollo. That was a major thing. And the trial, of course you remember the trial. So there's going to be a lot of spoilers on this episode, so I apologize in advance. I also want to give a shout out to I know I butchered their names before, the YouTube channel Helvetica Jubs.
Oh, word.
Yeah, they used to do episodes of Lore Olympus, but due to conflicts with Webtoons, they decided that they were no longer able to do so.
We miss you guys.
Yeah, we miss you guys a lot, and I know that a lot of fans miss their voice acting work because I think her name was Logan Digma. She plays the voice of Persephone, and I feel like she was very spot on with Persephone.
The voice characters.
Yeah,
I think all of them did a good job. All of them did a wonderful job.
Yeah, hands down. I personally am a big fan of whoever voices Zeus. I forgot his name.
Yeah, perfect voice.
Yeah, he has that perfect, like, he just has that level of douchebag type voice. I'm not saying but he just brings...
Also Hades. Yeah, yes. Their voice is sexy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They just know how these characters, sound. They embody these characters. So shout out to them. I know they also do other dub work for different shows, different Webtoon series, I should say. I know they're doing the Bat Family, which is also on Webtoons, and they're also doing something called I forgot, something called Hyacinth. I forgot the actual full title, but they do a lot of other voice acting stuff also on Genshin Impact. Genshin is also a video game out there, so they do a lot of work with that and other stories as well. All right. Yeah. So make sure you follow them on their YouTube channel. They got some good stuff out on there, some good episodes that you guys could watch and listen to on your free time. Wow. Okay. Now that I got that out the way.
Beautiful intro.
Thank you. Wow. Season 2. Okay. So I remember the last time we spoke, we were in this restaurant. I believe it's sometime last year or a year before. I don't know. It was a lot. We were talking about the fact that I remember one of the topics we discussed was some YouTube fans. Well, I wouldn't say they were fans, but they were very critical of like the age discrepancy between Hades and Persephone. Mm-hmm. And I remember like we were talking about how I get it personally. I understand where they were coming from, but in the modern world, if you want to put it into modern dating, or if you're attracted to someone, there's a lot of older guys that are attracted to a lot of younger women or date younger women, and there are a lot of younger women who are attracted to older guys. It's not to say that, you know, it's something really creepy about it, but that's just how, you know, that's how things
is.
Right.
Yeah.
Something like that. And there are plenty of older women who date younger guys. So I don't see what's the big issue. It's not like, I know Rachel wrote it in the sense that she wasn't underage. Like Persephone, it would have been a different story if Persephone was like 14, you know, or 16 years old, and he was having these feelings for her, or she was having these feelings for him. I would have understood that and been like, okay, that's a bit too much. But
like Romeo and Juliet,
right? But they were teenagers themselves, so it was kind of like, I think she was 14 and he was like maybe 15. I don't know, 16. I don't remember, but it's kind of like, it would have been a different story if Persephone was like, you know, 16. But then again, these are gods. So should age really apply to them in that respect? Like, that's what I'm kind of curious. What do you think?
I mean, like, I kind of feel like they're not describing, you know, our year, like our modern year of dating. You got what I mean? Okay. So they're kind of like describing their way of dating, because, you know, they are, like you said, they're gods, so they can do whatever they want. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So it's not like, I see what fans was coming from. But also you gotta understand that the whole concept is made up. The whole concept is like telling the partial truth of the history of the Greek gods, how things were. So I know the real story must have been more brutal, mm-hmm. but I kind of feel like how the author is portraying a situation. She's not thinking about how we will perceive it as our modern time of us and our era, but how it's like a what if we were allowed to date someone older or younger, you know? Mm-hmm. And I kind of just also feel like it's no different from how it is now, because there are, like you said before, older people have dated young people, and young people also dated older people. So I think, from my opinion, it's all about your preference. I do say, like, the way we will think as society, in my only opinion, that's only my opinion, guys, is dating an older person. I have witnessed and I have seen how there is going to be a difference between a younger and older. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But if love can conquer and both you guys are able to handle what's coming forward, because there's no relationship that's perfect, hey, go for it. That's the way you want to live your life. It just is a choice that you want to do. No one forced you to do it. You know what I mean? So that's my perspective of that. And I feel like in this book, I kind of feel like with them, we don't even know how the age bracket is really properly done. Because if Haiti is super older and he looks fine, well, he gonna be fine till his death. You know what I mean? Let's be realistic, because even his mother, his mom, they was good looking people still.
Yeah.
You know, let's be realistic. You look at the book, mom, that was bad, but that was really, really bad, you know, good looking. So I'm just saying, and mom was very pretty. Until, you know what I mean?
Yes.
After she popped on those kids. So yeah, I just kind of like, fans, don't overthink it. It's just a book.
I mean,
in my opinion.
I mean, I'm glad that you said it. It's just a book. I mean, it is. It's just excuse me. It's just her take on, well, her modern take on the gods, so to speak. So I don't think it's supposed to be taken as fact. Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be taken as fact. It's a book of fiction based off of gods, whether they lived or they didn't live, we don't know. They're just teachings, you know, in a sense.
Yeah.
So yeah. I try not to take it too seriously, mm-hmm. but I do feel like there are some people who get they have their right to their opinion. They're just very sensitive.
I think they just too hard about their opinion about this. But like I said, let's not. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah. And speaking of age, so as the story progresses, Persephone actually is a little bit older now. Right now we're in season 3, and somewhere around before season 3 started, because Rachel took a hiatus, a 2-week hiatus in August. So she just recently came back with, I think, an episode last week. So she's kind of sort of like, I think Persephone is like 29. I figured Persephone is somewhere around 29 years old now, because or 30, because she had her 20th birthday sometime in season 2. So and yeah, she turned 20. So I'm assuming it's been 10 years because it was a 10-year gap. But I just want to double back on something. So in season 2, there was like I said before, there was a lot of stuff that went on and a lot to unpack. So for those of you who read the season, you know what I'm talking about. So I want to do some like character breakdowns. And so let's start with Hades. What would you say was Hades' like character growth from then to now? Like, what exactly would you say, like, has he gotten better as a character, or do you feel like he's gotten worse?
Or is Hades?
Yes.
I kind of feel like Hades from the beginning, he stood by his side. You know what I mean? He always been like to himself from season 1. He wasn't really an outgoing. You could tell that he was not as confident as he is like in season 3.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He wasn't the type of person that would take initiative. Because I feel like I don't think it's a much of a change of him personnel when he's by himself. But I feel like he changed when it came toward Persephone. You know? Because I kind of feel like when he is by himself, he had to learn how to grow. You got what I mean? So he has to learn how to get comfortable with the new self, because he had to go through a lot. You know? But now that Persephone's in his picture, I feel like now he is able to overcome certain things when he's getting out of his comfort zone. Because I feel like he's learning to be loved. And I think it is new for him too, where he's like, oh my God, I'm learning to be properly loved. Because his life mate didn't love him properly, you feel me?
Yeah.
But now he is showing the proper way of how he deserves to be properly loved, and he got that love from Persephone. So I feel like from season 1, he was more observant. But season 3, I feel like now he's more stronger when it comes to like being more open and being not so harsh. You get what I mean? Yeah, in my perspective about Hades. Yeah. How about you?
I feel like there has been some character growth with Hades. I think with him, I feel like he's always, I think there was always a little part of him that was still that like frightened little boy, because of his interactions with his dad and the trauma that he endured when he was younger. So there's a lot of weight that he's been carrying on his shoulders. But I do feel like Persephone has made him a better person in a sense. To be more, I feel like she's chipped away a bit of the harshness that he might have had. Because remember, like his previous relationship, it wasn't good. It was toxic. I think by the time when we first see Hades, I think he was trying to change things about his relationship.
Yeah.
Like I think like when he was driving in the car and he was trying to ask her if she was gonna come to the party, you know, I think even then he was sort of kind of trying to change the way how the relationship was.
Yeah.
He wanted to propose, and we find out later on he had an engagement ring. So I think for him, he was already starting to sort of change a little bit because he wanted to. He realized he was missing something, and I think deep down, I don't think he realized that what that relationship was for him. I know he wanted someone to love him, and he wanted to be loved, but I feel like as much as he might have felt for Minty, I don't think it was 100% love that he had. I just think it was more or less like, you know, he loved her, but I don't think he was fully in love with Minty. Because I feel like he tried to rationalize a lot of the stuff that he wrote in his letters. Like the letters that he wrote to Persephone, even though it wasn't supposed to be for her eyes. It was just for him to like get things off his chest. But I do feel like although there was that recent episode that happened in the fast past that kind of makes you like, you know what, you're doing a little bit too much. It kind of makes him look like a bad guy there. So I do feel like he still has his little moments, but I feel like he has changed. But there are moments that things can bring that comes up that makes him revert back to sort of like that cool type of leader in a sense.
Yeah. I agree on that statement where I feel like he still have his moments, but it's not as bad. It's actually probably balanced. Yeah, like he's learn a new way of healing, a new way of addressing the issue.
Yeah, of course.
And I think he got that from Persephone. So I do agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. I think with Persephone, you talked about her before we started the show. What are your views on Persephone? I know that you were talking about how like you felt like she changed, but I want to hear what you have to say about that. What do you feel about Persephone and her?
Oh, Persephone, I feel like, girl, she has overcome being innocent, and I think she is still innocent. I just feel now she's not becoming as gullible, if that makes sense. She's more becoming to know who she is, what amount of power or value she can bring to the table. I feel like now she is showing that she could be a boss lady too. You know, in the beginning she was more scared, reliable from others.
Yes. Because
in season 1, I felt like she was really like, oh, let me go follow this person because that's my friend. Let me go follow this person, this other person because he's my friend. She was so like hooked on her friends to find healing, to find answers. Now she's like, no, I'm going to do my own ish. I'm going to go and figure it out. Like she's thinking of how she should plan her life out. And I think that is amazing. And I think that's what I like about this book, because we as females, we tend to feel like that as we get to a point age of growing where we want to find some kind of validation on ourselves. But because we're so quick to find help or so quick to draw on with other people, sometimes we have to step back and learn how to grow on our own.
That's true. Yeah.
So I kind of feel like she was able to find who she is on her own after what happened to her. She overcome that. Yeah, I mean, I still remember she went to therapy. Yeah, I mean, she was like, I need help, and she did it on her own.
Yeah.
And I think with the help of Hades, I think there was a part that Hades did help out, but she had to realize herself, like, I have to get it together before I step into it. And I feel like now, I feel like she has resolved that. She still got things to work on, but she's okay. That's the beauty of part. Like, she's okay. She's not broken. Yeah, I mean, she's okay. And I can't wait what she's going to do next when it comes to her mother. Because really, before the whole situation with her, this whole pain that she's been carrying, all this burden, it was through her mother. So I can't wait to see how she's going to respond when her mother is trying to want to get into her life again.
Yeah.
Wow.
I agree. I think there has been a change in Persephone, especially since the trial was a big major motivator as to how Persephone changed, at least in my opinion. I feel like in the beginning with Persephone, she was a little bit more, like you said, a little bit more innocent and gullible, and some cases people did take advantage, like Ares, like when he was like, oh, he didn't know how to read, like things like that. But I think over time, when being told like, oh, she's a B-rate goddess and stuff like that, I feel like when Apollo told her that he didn't have to, she didn't have to love him to be his wife, like things like that, like those little moments that I remember, I start thinking of. And then even when there was this big fight with her and Kronos at the end of season 2, I was kind of left with like, okay, so all of this pent up frustration that Persephone has endured over the past 10 years, every time when she was up for, having the ban lifted, Zeus was there to mess it up and tell her, oh, there was one thing missing, there was something wrong.
Yeah.
She always had to go back to the drawing board because she was always defeated. And when she thought that one time that things would change, everything goes right back to the way it was. Like there was no end. So you spent 10 years of trying to correct something and make something better, only for someone to keep acknowledging that there is improvements, but it's never good enough to their standards. So I feel like at the end of the day, Persephone got tired of all of that. And then that last time when she spoke to Zeus, like he could have struck her down, but she was like, no, this is BS. Like, I've done everything you've asked me to. Like, why are you still holding this against me? Like, this is enough. Haven't we suffered enough? Like, my mother, I have not seen Hades. Why are you doing this? And as a result, the kingdom suffered. Like, Hades stopped doing trades with Olympus and everything with the mortal realm or whatever he was supposed to do, and everything fell apart. Even the underworld, when we finally saw it, was like in bad shape because it's like Hades just stopped caring.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that's what kind of gave Kronos the opportunity to seize up on all of that and then capitalize. That's why he was able to break free from Tartarus, because that's what I think was his plan the whole time. I guess once everything started breaking down between the brothers, that was when he saw his opportunity and he seized it.
Yeah.
But going back to Persephone real quick, I feel like when you keep telling somebody no, or you keep doing things to someone who is very nice and everything, it's gonna add up. It's gonna build up, and then they're not gonna have to get tired of your crap. So she said, told them, listen, I need to go and help out. I need to go and see Hades myself. So regardless of what I had to say, and then Cerberus came through wounded. Obviously there was something wrong. She had to go and see what was going on with the man that she loves. So I feel like there was character development with her. Although there was one thing that I kind of didn't like, and it took me to realize something. Once everything was settled in that particular situation with Kronos and Persephone, I noticed that Persephone didn't remember her mother as much. Like she kind of went, it's like, okay, Hades, I'm the new queen. Do I seduce him? All these questions she started asking herself as to what does she do now? What does he do now? you know, it's like, oh, he needs a shower, she needs to bathe, like she needs to freshen up herself for her husband. Like all of these things came into play so fast.
Yeah, it's true.
I feel like homegirl didn't realize, holy shit, my mother now is woken up from her sleep too, because she was part of the 7 traders as well. And what am I gonna tell her? Like, I have a husband, and it's a guy that you don't like, you can't stand. So what are we gonna do? Like, all of these things, like I thought about, I was like, how she dead ass just left, forgot about her mother, didn't even go and look for her, and then and then she's worrying about, should I seduce him? She's asking Hera and Hestia. I think it was Hestia and Hera was helping her. Like,
yeah.
And I'm just sitting here
when they came out the nap. Yeah, when they came out the nap.
And I'm like, wait, hold on. I understand that, you know, you want to spend time with your man because it's been 10 years since you've seen him, and his hair done grew out and everything.
I'm dead.
But the whole point, and he probably smelled like ass because he's been asleep for a minute.
I'm dead. I wouldn't
want to be up on that either. But
yeah, they both probably smell like that.
Yeah, but I'm just like, you forgot your mom's.
Yeah, a long day.
Right? You forgot your mom's. Like, what happened? And then I remember the scene where she's sitting up in the bed and she has all that long hair. And I'm just like, Demeter's gonna be pissed. Like, that was like the first thing I remember seeing. I was like, ooh, Demeter. And then we see her in the last episode. And I'm like, oh, Lord, she's coming. She's coming. She's coming with Cerberus, but she coming.
Yeah, and I like what you said, girl. Where she coming all right. And I feel like I love how the story gave us a bit of why she feel a bit concerned, because we all thinking, oh, she's a concerned mother. Yeah. She's just being protective, but she is concerned because she had a past with Hades where he didn't treat her respectfully as a woman and as a leader of her, you know, of her tribe. So her mind, she's like, I need to know what's going on with my daughter. So she's coming as a concerned mother. Like I said, I love about this book, because if you just remove the concept of, you know, their goddesses, or the concept of where the theme is coming from, I like the book because it has modern situation, because that is considered to be a modern situation when a parent is concerned of who is my daughter or who's my son's gonna marry to. You know what I mean? And then that's just like any typical parent, any typical situation where you're like, okay, let me go do research. Let me see what's going on with my daughter or with my son. So I said, I love how this book is so relatable, where you're like, oh crap, like this is something that I see happening today. You know what I mean? A concerned mother about, okay, let me see what my daughter is getting involved in. Yes, her daughter has become a certain age where she can make her own decision. That's fine, but I love her mom is always there. I don't have an age limit at all. You know what I mean? So it's like, in my mind, she's a mom that want to see, okay, hey, you do what you want, but I want to know if you're okay doing what you're doing. Point blank.
Yeah. I agree. Honestly, I feel like, I mean, I remember in the beginning, I wasn't really a big fan of Demeter, but I wasn't really a big fan of Demeter and her portrayal beforehand in like other works. Like, for instance, I know Demeter was seen in I think it was Hercules, the old school TV show Hercules and whatnot. And it was the same premise. Like, she got taken from the lands, and then the mom's like pretty much, you know, laid waste to the land because of her daughter not being there, and having to split her time between the underworld and on Earth and stuff and all that other nonsense. It was just like, she came off as really overbearing. And I think in the beginning, I think with Demeter, it was kind of sort of like Persephone felt like her mom was overbearing. Like, she never let her want to venture out into the world, and she was kind of like a shut-in. So when she was glad to see somebody come from, you know, Olympus or whatever, and she wanted company, she had the nymphs and everything, but she wanted to meet somebody new, somebody that had experience on the outside world, if that makes sense, you know. And so I felt like that's why when she saw Aries, she was happy. When she got to see Hermes for the first time, she was happy. She got to see Hades another time, and albeit he was drunk, but she was interested, she was intrigued, she wanted to learn more. So I felt like the mom, although I understand where she's coming from, she wants to protect her daughter from all the badness in the world, but I feel like because of that, she kind of crippled Persephone socially, because even though at 19 at that time, Persephone still came off like an underage kid. She didn't know certain concepts, and Hades had to tell her, like, she's like, what's a cell phone, what's this, what's that, and whatnot. Like, she had to learn certain things from other people. So I think in that sense, like, yeah, her mom, I could kind of relate to that in a sense too, because my mother was always very like strict when it came to certain things. So I didn't have people come over to the house and all that other stuff. So it was just more or less like trying to keep your kids safe, from other forces, but at the same time you're kind of hindering them because they don't get to experience certain things that typical kids should experience. Like hanging out with their friends, going shopping with their friends, all that other stuff. Like those little things, because those little things is what matters to kids.
It's true.
But I could see where on both sides, where I could see where Demeter is coming from, and I could see where Persephone is coming from. There, it's a lot. It's a lot.
And more to come, fans. There's more to come, because that's how I get in the interview. There's always more to come.
There is a lot. I was gonna ask you, what was one part in season 2 that you liked, if you could remember? I know it was a long season. It literally lasted for like I think almost a year, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was a year.
Girl.
That was a long ass season.
Yeah, wow, time goes fast, right?
Really long season. I'm trying to remember myself what was some of the things that I liked about season 2.
I can say straight up, I know one. And you probably will laugh at this one.
Okay, you go ahead.
When Persephone was about to jump, she was about to get, she about to kill, what's her name? Oh my God.
Mincy?
Girlfriend.
Oh, Mincy?
Yo. Can we just do a clap on that, when she was like, you are the reason why my mother got arrested or got when I mean she was about to uppercut her and Hades couldn't catch up on his own girlfriend. That show you a lot. I was like, shorty did the ultimate. She would run up to your track store. Shorty ran. And Misty, I had never seen her scared in her life.
Yeah, I was scared for her. I was like, when I saw her the face, and I was like, oh, she is scared. And then Persephone just came through, and I was like, oh no.
Katie was like, no,
Persephone. And he's like, Persephone, wait. Every time, I'm like, damn, no, you can't catch her.
No.
I said, listen. Let her be her ass and then call it a day. Well, I mean, I don't really like, but it was just one of those things like Persephone is one of them people that she is nice up to a certain point.
Yes, a certain point.
Push her.
Yes, and that relates me so much of me, sis. That's that. It's really modern stuff where you like, yo, this is actually a particular person who want to bully the wrong person. And how many people are like that? Where, okay, I'm going to let you slide today. I'm going to let you slide. No, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a bully, stop bullying, because there's a point where a person's going to come get you too. Yep. Please, I advise you now. And I can't make this up, because this actually is what people do, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's sad. And it was just, and it wasn't just one person. It was, she had like 3 people against her. She had Mincy, Thanatos, and the other girl, Thetis. All the 3 of them were working and conspiring against Persephone because they were trying to find out dirt on her because of the fact of her closeness with Hades, and
I do remember that.
They are the cause of why Zeus ended up finding out about Persephone and her act
in the first place.
Yeah. So those three were the immediate cause as to why he found out, and he decided to give the verdict of being guilty. You know what? Let's talk about the trial, because that was like a major part of it too.
Okay, and then we're gonna mention what's your favorite afterwards.
Okay, all right,
yeah. Let's go straight to the trial, because the trial was very wild.
Yeah, it was.
I can say Rachel made it feel like I was in the book, looking at the trial real life. I don't know if you had that moment where I kind of felt like, wow, I'm right there sitting in the back room for them. Like, this is horrible.
Yeah, I was there from the moment they stepped out the car, and they were on point with the outfit. Persephone.
Yo, the fashion. Yes. Continue. I'm sorry.
She was giving me, Persephone was legit giving me like Jackie O vibes, like the way her outfit was set.
They both was on point coming out that car. I was like,
my man had a whole cape and everything. I was like, look at that.
It was like, we know I'm going to jail, but we're going to jail with style. That's what it felt like. Oh my God. You're not gonna look bummy, honey. We're not gonna look bummy. I was like,
I said, yo, what are you doing right now? Like, this is not. I mean, people do come to court dress up, but there's dress up and then there's dress up. They was on the next level. They were completely on a whole new level. Like, I don't even understand. Yo. But
yeah, if they was real life people, they'd definitely come to my fashion show. No lie, for New York Fashion Week. They're definitely coming to my fashion show. I already know. I don't have to say, yo, dress to impress. They're gonna come dressed to impress regardless.
Oh my God. Yes. I was just crying because I was just like, what is this? Like, they really and truly just brought their A game with their style. And a lot of people actually made comments on that one picture about how great Persephone looked in the outfit, with the hat to the glasses, the brooch, just the clothes in general. And he wasn't nothing to sneeze at either. I mean, he came through with the cape and everything, and I was like, he always wears black, but it was just the fact that whole outfit and the two of them came out there. I was like, okay, y'all really on point now. And I remember I had to look at that picture for a minute before I even scrolled to read anything. And I was just like, damn, they look so good. I was just in love with that. So for me, it was that from that moment, I was a fly on the wall to when the court proceedings happened. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue, Abby. I kind of like cut you off.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I thought I was cutting you off too long. I just feel like we're so excited, and the fans out there is listening. It's read the book. Like, it's so good. From season 1, season 2, and now they're going to season 3. It's like, it's not a disappointment moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do agree that there's moments where I kind of feel like, oh my God, this chapter could have been more longer to understand. You know, but later on, it makes sense what the author's trying to do when it gets to the end of the point where like, oh, okay. Now we're understanding why this took a bit longer to explain. But towards the end, it makes perfect sense. When it came from the episode where her and Hades, when I say her, I say Persephone, when they explain about the fruit tree. And when I saw the fruit tree, I was like, oh my God, like, it explains where he can have children and what's the purpose of that. So she kind of knew what she gonna put her foot in when she kind of ate that fruit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because she know it's gonna come with a certain sacrifice. And maybe you never know. You never know. It may change up the concept later on, the amount of reading we have to do if there's more. But I kind of felt like, okay, now she know, like, she didn't come blindsided when she saw it. At least we not coming blindsided either. We like, oh, okay, what is this tree? You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like the author does very well on pursuing details of each character and what's gonna happen, you know, and I love that.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm laughing because I'm remembering this one scene that had me dead on the floor because I read it out loud with my friend, And my other friend Brandon, because he reads the thing too. He reads Lore Olympus. So it was one of the court scene, and I believe it was shortly after Persephone and her mom had to talk. And she says to her, asking her about being a fertility goddess, and Demeter is trying to change the subject. So she want to talk about like why was she in the underworld and all this other stuff, but she's like, nah, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about like, is it true? Because too many people have been telling me that I'm a fertility goddess, and you've never told me that. So I think that's the whole issue here that she had. But it was like shortly after they have that talk, and Hades goes in to talk to Zeus, and Poseidon is in there, and he come through the room, and then right before that, I believe it was Hecate and somebody else that works with Hades. I think it was, her name is Alecto, if I'm not mistaken, and she was like, give him hell, boss. And she got her hand pumped up in the air, and I just cried. And then Hecate like, oh God, like don't hype him up any more than what he is. Like, because she's telling him don't show your anger. And then he walks in, he's in the room, and he's all big, and he walks into the room, and you just see that one lady screaming, saying, ah! For some reason, that part makes me laugh every time I see it, because I'm just like, it was so sudden. I'm like, why he all big for? Like, he's mad about what? And I understand. I mean, I know why he's mad, but it was just the fact that he walked in there, and he had a crouch, and it was like, and then Zeus was like, calm down. Like, you know, like, like, what you doing? Like, why you getting so big for? And then the three brothers, I like the fact that the three brothers try to have a decent conversation in that moment. And then here comes Fuckboy comes and then tries to interrupt the conversation. And I remember he saying something about, I think he came in there saying he wanted to speak to Zeus. And then it was so cute because in that scene you see Hades is fixing Poseidon's tie. Like he's tying his tie, and then he turns to Zeus and he said, oh God, what did you do now, Zeus? And then he says to him that he kind of spoke to Apollo, and Apollo was kind of like, then Apollo comes into the room, and then you just see Hades' demeanor, his demeanor just change, and then one red eye come out, and I'm like, oh Lord. And then this dude start talking his trash about how, you know, he wanted to get Persephone, and he was like, and I remember that one scene where Hades tells him, he's like, you don't think I see the shit that you've been doing to my wife? And he was like, your wife?
The word wife.
And I was
word wife was crazy. I said, oh.
I was like, excuse me? I was like, excuse you? And he's like, oh, I spoke out of turn. He's like, I misspoke. I was like, oh my God.
I know that's wifey. He already had that in his mindset. He already had that planned out. He's like, that's my wife.
Yeah. I was like, yo, I said, okay. I was like, damn, please let this be the moment where he finds out, please. And then they didn't do it. I'm like, thank God Rachel didn't do it right then and there, because that would have been a waste. I wanted her to tell him. I wanted Rachel to have Persephone to tell Hades what happened, as opposed to him finding out by somebody else.
Okay, I respect that, because I kind of feel like Rachel is gonna do a way where I do agree on that. I hope they should have a sit down, because like I said, like I'm always gonna say it mostly in these interviews where that's real. No one wants to talk about their trauma.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk about like, hey, I was raped, and the person who's a rapist or molested is right in front of you. It's among family. So I said this book really takes it there. We're like, oh my God, like she see this person, even what happened afterwards, and he had the audacity, Apollo, to threaten her afterwards. So it's like, it's a lot. Like, it's like, that's everyday unfortunate situation with other people, where it's like, oh my God, like, what do you do to the like, you have to understand, like, if I tell the person I love, he may go to jail because he's gonna kill that person. Because what happened to me. You know what I mean? So it's like the way he reacted in that episode where he just got so big, and then she had to run to calm him down. Remember that episode? So she said, "How am I? The day this conversation's gonna happen, Apollo got a death wish. Let's be realistic. Apollo, you dead. You know? Yeah, it's gonna be consequences what happened. And I just feel like so messed up. So I do agree that she should be the one messing up. I mean, not messed up, I'm sorry. She'll be the one talking about it, because I feel like Apollo, once he finds out that she is the queen with Hades, I know for sure he gonna pull up these pictures and gonna make this whole story go left.
Yeah.
Because there is pictures, unfortunately, involved. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's gonna be so messed up.
Yeah, I also thought about that too. Like, what happened? I know we just talked about it a little bit, but I think we needed to go and talk more in depth about that. Like, so for those of you who know, who read the season, who read through season 2 already, Hades, during the course of the trial, Hades finds out, like, I think he walks into a conversation between Apollo and Hephaestus. Yeah. Hephaestus ain't paying it no type of attention, because Hephaestus knows about what happened with Persephone, because Hera goes to him, and Hera, well, basically, to back it up a bit, Hera finds out from Persephone what happened. She said that there's some pictures, and since she couldn't find her phone anymore, it's attached to when she left it in the motel, when she went off grid. Hera finds everything, and she goes to her son, who's Hephaestus is into tech-based stuff, and she tells him, listen, there's some pictures in here I need you to get rid of and whatnot. So he sees the pictures, and he sees what Apollo's been doing. And he deletes those pictures. He wipes them out completely. There's no backup, no cloud, nothing. But there's the lasting memory of what he saw. And so now fast forward to around the trial, Apollo's like, yo, my dude, you know, we haven't kicked it in a while. What's good? Blah, blah, blah. And Hephaestus is just typing away. He ain't paying him no mind until he said to him, I know what you did. I saw what you did. And then immediately Apollo starts backtracking, talking about, you know, oh, Persephone, it was a one-time thing. She's making it seem like I did something to her. It was, it was consensual, and wow. And stuff. Yeah, he basically tried to explain it like, oh, it was a consensual thing, and then both of them happen to turn, and then this big ass thing in the doorway with a red eye again. What are you talking about? And I'm like, oh Lord. I said, please tell me he caught that whole part of that conversation. It was Hades in the doorway talking, listening to them talk. And I'm like, bro, if he did not hear that one part about the two of them having some type of sexual relationship, I don't know what to tell you. And then I think because of that little exchange, he went to go and ask Persephone at the hotel what happened between her and Apollo. And I could just, I'm like, Abby, to this day, I could still remember the visual of the wide shot of outside of the hotel room, outside the building. And as she goes and she's trying to deflect, and she's talking about, oh, baking this and baking that and not having the right ingredients. And he said Persephone, and then he starts calling her Kore, which is her original name. And I could remember her saying, okay. And she just has that look, and she starts going and telling him in detail. And out of nowhere, you start seeing like the glass start to crack down from the window to down below. And then I'm just like, oh shit, I think that's him that's doing that. And then because he looked so devastated, and then I think the anger started to build up. And then I think at the end of that shot, we see an eye appear in the doorway. And I remember a lot of people kept saying, in the webtoon itself at the comment section that they thought that was
the moment, right?
They thought that was Chronos. I was like, wait, how the fuck does it? Even in my head, I was like, wait, why do people think that that's Chronos? And I was like, and it never dawned on me that maybe it could have been in that moment. But now looking back on it, I said, shit, it could have very well been him. But I'm like, but it's a building though. It's like a building with different rooms. So obviously it's got to be Hades getting upset. And then the first thing we see in the next thing was, I will kill him. And he's all big and he's just like trying. I was like,
so she must have told him.
She told him what happened.
So that means it won't even, like what you said earlier, she already did it then. Now I think about it, I'm glad we clarified that, fans. If you have not read it, it seems, that is the scene that she must have told him about Apollo.
Yeah.
Finally.
And I remember there was a couple of times where I said she needs to tell him, because if they were going to continue, because it's not so much that she needed to tell him because he needed to know. It was more of like for the sake of their potential relationship, because
that's true.
Because in my mind, someone went through that much trauma, right? And when you're giving your body to someone else or whatever, like in that type of setting, it kind of, that's, how can I put this? It's a level of intimacy, because you're allowing someone to do things to you, and not in a bad way, but pleasurable. So my mind is saying now, she needs to tell him, one, to get it off her chest, because he needs to know. But also in the future, you shouldn't allow what happened with Apollo to dictate your relationship or your intimacy with Hades. Because then I thought about it and I was like, well, if they were to ever do that, how would that come? Because would that come into play? Because touching her in that regard is going to be sacred, and so it's going to be one of those things like, will she freeze up? Will she be like, no? Like things like that. Like I start thinking about, like, so he know in her where her mindset is at, rather than thinking like, oh well, she doesn't want him. It's not because she doesn't want him, it's because the fact that she's afraid.
There's pain.
She's afraid, and it's not because of anything that he did. It's because of the trauma that was left behind as a result with her and Apollo. So that's what I was trying to like figure out. She should tell him, because he doesn't want to walk into, you wouldn't want him to walk into a situation where, let's say they do get together, they do decide to date, they do, whatever, and then that moment comes up, and then let's say she's originally on board and then she backs out, or he does something and it triggers something for her. So it's just, that's what I felt like she should tell him, just so that he would know. He wouldn't go into a situation being blind to that level
of what's going on. That's true. I agree. I so agree. And I think that is the reality check of, unfortunately, what it has become, because it's like, it's good that she it's good that she had the choice of being a woman enough to discuss that, because this topic is so hard.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, and I'm glad that, I'm not quite sure, you guys, fans, if you guys have read in the comments, I'm not saying if he was the one who suggested therapy now, or she did therapy on her own before she told him. I think it was after or before, I'm not quite sure. Because I know there was at some point that she did went to therapy.
Yeah.
And I think therapy helped her before giving the conversation or after. I'm not quite sure. But I love the fact that he didn't wait for her with a bunch of flowers. Yeah. I mean, in that scene where he waited for her during therapy. And he kind of was, he's so cute. I like the fact that he's the type of person where he feel like it's really about him, and it's not really him.
Yeah.
So he kind of was like, did I do something wrong? Can I pay for this? And I'm like, no. And he's like, sometimes as a woman, we tend to have our days where we just gotta talk things out. with another person.
Yes.
Besides our main. And that's what I said. That's what I love about the book, where it's so relatable of today, because that's a woman in pain, and then it shows how she was able to overcome by getting proper help.
Yes.
Yeah. So I like that part definitely in that book, how she was able to do what she had to do for her.
Yeah, I think Hades overall was the okay, I think Hades was like the fourth person to find out, to be honest, because
I agree.
The first person that I remember finding out was Eros, and then when he touched her, and then Hera, and then the therapist, and then Hades, because she finally said it out loud to the therapist that that's what happened to her.
Yeah. And that's not easy.
Not at all.
That is not easy to talk about, but she's learning to accept it and knowing how to live her life.
Yes.
That's power. That's power, man. Adrian, that is the power you regain after having that typical situation.
Although I must admit that I was kind of afraid that it was gonna come out when what's the name? Discord. When Discord came into the courtroom, and she was like, "Oh, I wasn't invited," and she felt some type of way about that. I was afraid that it was going to come out because maybe somehow Discord found out and wanted to just stir the pot up a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it didn't happen that way. So I'm glad that Hades didn't find out in that fashion, because I think he would have looked at Persephone like, what is he talking about? And then, that was one of those conversations. Then you had to pull him to the side and tell him, I also like the fact that he said that he was going to try to kill Apollo, and she's like, you can't kill him, he's a god. I was like, oh.
Yeah, you gotta let him be, unfortunately. That's so messed up.
But boy, he probably would have tried. He would have definitely tried.
Yeah. But what else questions? Now that we conclude that part, you guys, those who haven't really read the book, please read it, so you know what you guys you know what we're talking about.
I would say I know we talked about that, and okay, can we talk about Apollo and the power play that he did in the court?
Oh, and the dream, right? That was kind of interesting.
And where he was he finally admitted that Zeus was his father.
Yes, that was crazy. I thought that was so crazy. Even with the whole dream, Apollo is trying to do something out here.
Yeah. He's trying to do a lot of stuff. I mean, he was the cause. He was the cause of Daphne turning into a tree.
Yeah.
And
word.
Yeah, because bust out. I'm so sorry, because Daphne found out. Daphne found out by the I think it was a truth arrow or something. She got either hit by it, or she saw him, and it started to reveal the truth, because Eros was throwing arrows. And actually no, Eros was throwing arrows first. It was Ampullus, the girl that is Psyche, that was pretending to be Psyche, or is Psyche. Eros' girlfriend. And here we go. We find out, Daphne finds out, and she says to him, "I'm gonna tell everyone what you did to Persephone." And that's when he starts chasing her through the woods and everything. And I'm like, holy shit! He's going to kill her. I was like, yeah, that was a lot. But yeah, so it's 5 people that I know. But I was just like, wow, that is nuts. He's just so destructive, and he doesn't even understand it. He doesn't even see that he's destructive.
Yeah. And how many guys are not like that today, or even girls? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people like that. They don't realize, they don't take accountability.
No, they don't. They have a lot of issues that they need to iron out, because that's just not okay. He really was trying to kill Shorty, and I was just like, yo, what is going on?
Yeah. Bugging out.
Yeah, but I feel like his decision, and honestly, and now looking back on it, I remember everyone was very mad with Zeus for what he did and in the decision that he made. Don't get me wrong, Zeus is not the greatest guy in the world. By far, he's not. But I understand he did it. It's like a selfishness to his decision, but also for the safety of Persephone and Hades. Because I remember right before he did the verdict, he said, "Brother, forgive me." And if Zeus wasn't that type of person, he would never have said that.
Yeah, that's true.
In the end, even though that he's Superman whore, always cheating on Hera and all this other stuff. And he's just douche canoe. But I feel like he still cares about his brothers. I still feel like, because even in the beginning of, like, in season 1, I don't want to say the beginning, but he told Hera, it was like, doesn't my brother deserve something nice? But the way how he said it was kind of like, it was disrespectful, because Persephone is not a possession to be had.
Exactly.
But I feel like what he was trying to say in his stupidity, that his brother deserves to be happy, and regardless of what maybe Hera's stance on it or anyone else's stance, I'm married, Poseidon is married, shouldn't Hades be allowed to be married and be with somebody that he cares about? And I remember this one piece of advice that he said to him in season 1 that really stuck to me, and I was like, you know what, even though you're a shitty brother, you actually hit the nail on the head. He said, he told Hades, you don't want an okay queen, you want a great queen. You don't want somebody just because you just like think they're going to be an okay queen. You want somebody that they're going to be a great queen and be by your side. Yeah. And I was just like, you know what, he's right, because he was about to make a mistake, and even he and Poseidon were both like when they found out that he was going to propose to Menthe, they're like, please, why?
They was not with it. Yeah, they was not with it.
And their reaction had me dying. So I was just like, damn, like, y'all ain't got no love for this girl whatsoever.
Nah, they was like, wow.
And that made me wonder, like, let him be happy. Let him, be happy for once, because he's always miserable. Obviously, he wants a queen, but it's not that he wants a queen to rule over her. He wants a queen because he genuinely wants somebody to love and wants to be loved. So I think in that regard, Zeus saw what was happening. Like, he realized that his brother generally does care for this girl. He didn't get it himself, but he understood. And I think it kind of comes back into later on in season 2 when, he sort of sacrifices himself to save Persephone before Kronos gets to her. Because remember, Kronos was pretending to be Hades, and we're like, yo, Hades don't speak like that. Like, you come off mad sleazy. Like, what are you talking about? Like he dedicated a whole statue to her and all this other stuff. Like, what are you trying to do? Like,
And it was like, we're gonna just throw this away.
Yeah, when Hades came back, he was like, "No, we're not having that." He's like, "What the hell is that?"
That thing looked ugly.
Yeah, he destroyed it. He's like, "No, we're not doing that. Sorry, get the hell out of here with that.
You're not gonna do that."
So it's kind of like one of those things, like even though Zeus isn't the greatest person, but coming back to the trial, I know I kind of went on a tangent. It's kind of like, I realize now, I was mad with him when he banished Persephone and Demeter, that he split them apart and broke up Hades, and just watching Hades' reaction to him falling on the ground and surrounded by all the flowers. That was beautiful imagery, by the way, on Rachel's part. That was like very beautiful. And him finally admitting that he loved her.
Touching.
Yeah, and he got to admit that he loved her before she left. It was the fact that caught me. That scene caught me all in my chest. I was like, damn, like, why are we doing this right?
It's over. Yeah.
But when I realized when Apollo put Zeus back against the wall, because if he hadn't come out and said what he said, I think Zeus would have probably voted that although she did do an act of wrath, I think he would have given her a slight sentence, but it wouldn't have been as bad. You know, it wouldn't have been along to his liking. But because he did all of that and he waited so long, he allowed Apollo's popularity to skyrocket.
Yeah, that's so true.
Because now this guy is well loved and liked and everything. So now he has the backing of all of these people. Who's to say that when this information comes out about what he did to Persephone, anybody's gonna believe her? It's gonna be like, lying.
It's gonna look crazy.
Yeah. Shorty's lying and all this other stuff, and she's generally telling the truth. Because I can see people now saying, "Well, why did she let him stay in her house? She didn't let him do anything."
Yeah,
it was supposed to been leave. You know,
he should have moved on. Exactly.
Yeah. And then what he tried to do when he tried to go and find somebody else, he tried to make her into the image of Persephone. So
that's the sick part.
Yeah, so he's like obsessed, you know. He's very obsessed. So it's one of those things. Like, I understand what Zeus did, even though that a lot of people see it as wrong. But I understand that it was a move based off of a power play that Apollo did. Because Apollo could have just kept that secret to himself. But then his mother probably said, "Oh, your father is Zeus. I mean, you share the same color as him. You're very ambitious as him and all this other stuff. So you and your sister are his kids. So now you're entitled." And the first thing he wanted to do was to claim
oil.
I was like, "Well, you can't claim her now because she's banished. So she has to live out her sentence." Yeah, so that was one thing that I really was like, wow,
amazed by it. Yeah.
I was just like, damn, this is deep. Because now that I look back on it, I'm saying, okay, I see what he did there. I mean, it's not well liked, but it was a decision that was based off of what this dude did.
Yeah, that's the sad part of the situation. Yeah, how that was handled. Unfortunately, not the proper way. But yeah, girl, that's it. Oh my god, it's amazing, you guys. Newcomers, yes, read it. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's very crazy, but crazy in the sense that it's a lot to unpack. I think the whole fact that Artemis still doesn't know to this day what her brother has done, and she's still trying to find her way and realizing that Zeus is her dad and stuff like that. Like, because remember, she and Apollo,
alert.
Yeah, she and Apollo are twins. Actually, no, they're not twins. I think they are twins, but I think he was born first. They're just basically like, I don't know. I think she's still trying to find her way, and it's just sad that we don't really get to see her friendship with Persephone like it once was. Of the series, that her relationship with Persephone was so tight. Now it's like we barely see Artemis. But Artemis came to live with her in the mortal realm because that's what she asked Zeus to do.
Yeah,
and I think she wanted to find out what the hell happened between her and her brother.
But you see how she was though around Persephone?
Yeah.
She still respected her. She still there and like pushed the matter. She was there because she knew something was going on. So she decided, like, you know what? I'm leaving. Like, I don't feel comfortable. I feel like you guys are playing me. Like, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
So she took the initiative move of just not be around her family. If you look at it, like, it's like, yo, she really had to take a step forward. Like, I have to figure out my emotions with y'all, because I don't feel like with Persephone, like, especially if you know the person where you are as a friend, like, you just know like something is not right, and I have to just figure out my own, because my own family's not being honest. You can, like, I think that's what we have as a woman.
Yeah.
We tend to pinpoint certain things quickly where we like, wait, this don't feel right. You know what I mean? And especially if you know your siblings or you know your family is lying to you, like that's how much we know. Yeah, that's how much you would know your family member. Like, okay, you know, I don't feel like this is right because this is what's going on. So yeah, like I'm like, yeah, she did the right thing for her, and that's why I appreciate it. She did the right thing for her to figure things out, because she just knew that nothing was making clear out of her part with her family.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Artemis had to go and pretty much had to be on her own to figure out what's going on and whatnot. I mean, is there any other characters you want to talk about?
So yes, I do actually. Let's talk about with Zeus' son, the one who is a bit his son and his daughter, the two that are like, one is pretty smart, the one that's hidden away, and he don't feel like he's part of the goddess, because I feel like they have him like doing his technology work, Zeus children.
Oh,
and I want to know why he is in the shadow, because I think there was a part where his own mom was like, "We miss you, please come back," and he's not like, no. Like, I think he just know how his father is, that he's not with it, and he's not proud of his father reputation. So he decides to be the kid that's like, no, I'm indifferent. I don't agree with what he's doing. And we see that he has another character where he has a daughter who came in court looking like she got problems herself. Like, she is the type of person like to cause harm, where he abandoned her, trying to get her therapy. Like, this is real stuff, because it's like, no offense of anyone who is in this level, but it screams a lot of like, that his children needs therapy. Like, his children needs like signs of like IEP. You see things where I see where you like, okay, there's something going on with your children, like anxiety attacks, loneliness, because Persephone, even though what happened to her in court, and she saw how Zeus' daughter basically shout out or made her mom tell the truth in court. You know, she came in with an arrow burnt up, you know what I mean? Where Persephone was the queen, and Persephone, she could have let her die, you know what I mean? But she was humble enough, but like, you know what, let's just, fix her up. And even she questions, like, why are you still helping me after I just did to you? That's the side of humbleness, you know what I mean? So I want to talk about these two particular characters of Zeus' children, where what's up, Zeus, like, you worry about, you trying to make everybody else pregnant, you out here playing around, but you got two kids that are emotionally down, you know what I mean? What's your opinion about these two?
I mean, with Discord, her whole name is just to kind of like stir up the pot, to cause drama, like to reveal secrets, and to cause like a lot of like tension amongst others. So I think in a sense she's kind of like Hecate in that regard, but I think that I think Zeus really doesn't understand what it is to be a father. Because we saw him like picking up Hebe when, and whatnot, but honestly, I don't really think he fully understands the concept of being a dad. I mean, to be honest, he's a shit husband, so why would he know how to be a great dad? Like, it's just one thing that, your kids don't like you, but your wife don't like you neither,
That's the crazy part. And I know a lot of people go through that, but continue talking, girl. Keep continuing.
I think the thing is that Hephaestus, is Hephaestus his son, or is it? I think is it her son? Is it her son?
I don't know. Like, that's the crazy part. I don't know how they're like, you know what I mean? Because I see how she said it in a "Hey son," and I'm like, oh, so that's their kid. So I'm a bit confused myself with that part. Fans, you guys know the best answer for that. please let us know.
Yeah, and then I know that
I would love to know.
because then I'm thinking like, because the way how they set it up was Hera and Zeus, obviously there's not that they don't play into the ancestral relationship that they have, because they're our brother and sister in mythology. But from what I seen, they have Hebe, I think Discord, Hephaestus, Ares, and now he has Apollo and Artemis as his children from the side chick. So what so what I'm thinking is, I don't know if there's any more kids that he does have in there mentioned, but I know that that those two are left damaged. Like those two are left completely and utterly damaged. I think because maybe with Hephaestus, because his body he's missing limbs, and he has those prosthetics. I guess he was made to feel like he wasn't part of the family, so he also
that's the messed up part.
Maybe that's what it is. They haven't really dived into it as much. I know Hera did speak to him a little bit, and like you mentioned before, but as far as I remembered, he's only had about 2 conversations, one with Hera and one with Ares. And I think Ares went to go and speak to him, and then for some reason, and then Persephone, I forgot why Persephone and Hades was there, but they were just doing the most with their powers, and then they kept on interrupting to the point where Hephaestus and Ares just kind of like barked on both of them and laughed. But yeah, I ultimately just feel like they were just really damaged, and I don't know how their relationships is gonna get repaired in the family
after all this, right?
After all this drama that has happened over the last 10 plus years in the book from the trial. Now I don't really know how anything's gonna get repaired, to be honest with you.
All we can see what will come next, because it just gets better and better.
It
just get crazier afterwards.
It really does get crazy. I mean, there's some characters that I wish, to be honest with you, I wish that Rachel would dive a little bit more into.
Who could that be for you?
For me, I want to see what happens with Eros and Psyche. I want to see them actually. I know that he finally knows that it is Psyche, but I want to see like them get together. What's gonna happen with them? I kind of want to see Persephone and Hades, their love story kind of tie up a bit, and then and I want to see if Rachel is gonna continue like working on other character development. Like I want to see more Poseidon, because Poseidon is one of my favorites, so I kind of want to see him go through his married life, see what's going on with him, any stories involving his life and stuff. Like I want to see that.
I'm surprised you didn't mention your other favorite character, the one that works with Hades.
Oh, Hecate.
What's her story?
I want to see
very professional.
You're right. I want to see what's going on with her too. Like, there's a lot of characters in there. Like, I want to see Thanatos and Daphne get back together after she got turned back. I want to see all of that. Like, I want to see a resolution to a lot of things, because it's been 3 seasons, but she just started season 3. I don't know how long she's gonna keep going with this story, so I just want to know, like, for
her game mode.
Yeah, what's her end game with this? Like, are these two gonna stay married? Are they gonna split apart? What is it gonna be, a conflict between Hades and Persephone? Like, what else is gonna happen between the two of them? Because
I kind of feel like she still sticks with the story. I believe that the real original story of how how they all met. I'm assuming she stuck it out, but I'm sorry, continue talking.
Oh, well, I just want to know, like, what she plans on doing with them. Like, are they gonna end up having kids? They're gonna do, what? They're gonna live happily ever after. And then once that's done, what about the rest of everybody else? Like, are they gonna have more screen time, or are you just gonna dead the story just based off of Persephone and Hades? I mean, that's well and good. I know I stay tuned for them too, but I want to know what's going on with everybody else. Because you took the time to put some of these characters in here. I want to know what their life is going to be about. Like, what happened to Shorty? What happened to Minty's best friend, the fake best friend? After she said what she said,
come later.
After she said what she said in court, she just poofed and be gone. Like, Shorty wasn't seen since that court scene. Since she was on,
she probably embarrassed.
I mean, she should be. Look at she did. Like, she legitimately got her friend turned into a plant. Let's just be 100. Like, she did all of that foolishness and then talk about, oh, well, she shouldn't be happy. That's not a real friend. And I know we talked about this in the first time we talked about Lore Olympus. We talked about their relationship as friends. Like, that's not a real friend. A real friend should be happy for you. Like, she was in a relationship. She just established a relationship with Hades, and she was going on the right path. Out of nowhere, you get mad because you're sleeping with a married man and he can't give you the time of day, but you gotta go and mess up your friend's situation just because you mad. That's not a real friend. That's some trifling shit. That's why I was like, she should have been turned into something too, But it is what it is. So
it'd be like that. That's so messed up, And like I said before, that's real stuff. That's reality. You have those who want to be your friend today, and they're gonna betray you the next day. So yeah, that's real. That is so real.
Yeah, you're right. And that's what I liked when Hades told her, it's like, yo, she's not your real friend. Her friends don't do that to you. Like, she knew that you had a date with me, and she just upped and decided, hey, let's get you plastered and whatnot. That's bad.
Well, but we gotta be realistic here too, where a lot of and I feel like this situation, we're talking about two adults in this scenario, but if you really put it as high school, like people who are younger, that's gonna be peer pressure.
Yeah, it is.
Peer pressure is under a lot of peer pressure of feeling like, oh, I'm just gonna do X, Y, and Z because my friend said it. I want my friend to feel bad, knowing that she should have for herself, like, no, we gonna catch up a different day. Yeah, I mean, because she said, I can drink 1 to 2, but we all know that she kept going. And that's like, no, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people feel that peer pressure on an individual in their life where it's like, oh my God, like, I'm seeing the red flags, but I don't want to mess this up for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It goes by relationship also.
That's true. That's definitely true. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like you're right. The peer pressure is a thing, and it's just like a big theme with kids, like especially in high school and middle school.
And I feel like it's now too as an adult. Yeah, we go through it too. So I can't say just one typical class. I think everybody's going through this where there's one particular person, family or not. You know what I mean? We go through this peer pressure. Yeah. And also, it's not to cut you off, but like the fact that she's not friendly. So that's like one of her only genuine friends that deal with her nastiness. If you think about it, because you don't see other people in Missy's life that she has other friends. She's actually with another good person that she is making out in the closet. Meanwhile, she has a whole relationship with Hades.
Yeah, like, and that with his nephew too.
That's crazy. And I think that's so sick where it's like, wow, you hated on Hades or trying to tell him he's a cheater, but look at you.
Yep.
Look at you. That's what says this book is crazy. Like, wait, look at your actions, but you judging him because you assume he cheated?
Yeah.
I cannot. But I do have a question for you.
Sure.
Throughout this whole season, what is your vision of what will be the conclusion of Persephone and Hades? What do you think is gonna happen if, let's say, this book gets to a point where it's gonna come to an end, what will you think will be your perception how they will end at the finale of all this?
Honestly, I think they're gonna have their issues. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're gonna have their marital issues. That's not, they're gonna have their arguments. I think it's gonna be based off of Demeter. Her staying a few months with him and then a few months with her mom to just kind of like keep Spring on track. I also do think that there's a possibility that Persephone may get pregnant. I mean, I'm pretty...
the fans is hoping for that.
Yeah,
I'm right comments, you guys, about that.
Let's put it this way: I think Persephone wants it more than he wants it. At this point, because I'm pretty sure that he's been like climbing the walls, trying to figure, right. But well, all jokes aside, I feel like she for the most part, she's like, yeah, she wants that stuff. Like she wants the D.
I'm dead.
I mean, listen, there's been scenes where she flat out was trying to, like, it seemed like she was trying to toss it at him, and I was just like, girl, calm down, like, relax. Like he was trying, like, he had super restraint. Like I'm dead. I commend him because you got this girl on you. And then was the scene when they went shopping and they were making out in the back in the store. And then which prompted the people to tell Minthy when she went to go and do a workout that they caught them kissing. And there's been other scenes where it's just like, this girl want him bad, especially when I think he had came in from working, like he was doing a run, he was jogging, and then he lifted up his sweatshirt to wipe the sweat off him, and then you just saw his stomach. And then she's over there looking at him and he realized what he did, and he immediately put the shirt back down. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this guy's too much. It's like he's being objectified,
Yeah.
and looking at him like he's a snack. And then, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like they'll probably end up having their happy family. Not without, a little bit of issues go along the way.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I do think that Rachel will try to conclude it into a happier thing for everybody.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. It could be they end up, probably it works out for a little while and then they split up. Who knows? Maybe they just realize they're just too damn different. And, I would hate for that to be a thing where after all of that effort, that happens. But
yeah,
it could be a mean curveball. She could turn around and put them up. And then he could end up being by himself and she could end up being by herself. Who knows?
Yeah, like the reason I gave that question, I just felt like, you're right, it may be a curveball where I know in some typical story they always feel like, oh, it's gonna be a happy ending, but I do hope for them to be together. I do hope that it becomes a way where they are pursuing the same goals. That makes sense, because I know the original story, I believe she was kidnapped from him. So like I like how this is like a modern way.
Well, he took her away from her mother. That's pretty much what it was. And he got Zeus to pretty much co-sign off on it. I have to read up on it again.
Yeah, me too.
So we get more information. But they were not good people, good gods to be.
Yes, fans, let you know.
Yeah,
it is the original story, and I feel like you guys will like how Rachel put it in her vision will look like in this situation, because the original story of how all this is going on and the original story is crazier. You know what I mean? I'm not a person of Greek mythology, but I just know that book is crazy. Like, oh my God, it's the real story. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I just like the way she just made it as like their struggles is real, what it is, and if you look at it, it's Persephone's decision at the end of the day.
That's true.
If you really think about it, it's very her decision on what she want to do with her life. Yeah,
that is true. Like she let Persephone make those decisions. Albeit, I know that was a rash decision she had to make in order to save herself. When she ate the pomegranate, but I feel like she kind of did wanted to eat that pomegranate from before.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like when she first asked him about it, I feel like she kind of like the idea was always there, maybe lingering in her head, to eat the pomegranate. But who knows? Like, honestly, who knows what's gonna happen? You know?
Yeah. Wah.
Yeah. Ugh, girl. I told you it was a lot to cover, and I think you still
you good.
A few things, but you know what? I guess that could always be for another time.
Not a problem. I'm excited that we were able to just go over all of the aspect of all this, because it's a lot. Like
it is.
And it's real. It's real. Like the stuff that they have to go through is very real. Yeah.
And they're still going through some stuff. I can't wait to read this new episode tonight. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. It's about the Fast Pass coin situation. Now you know when we started reading this book and the Fast Pass, it was how many coins?
5.
It was 5. So why is it now 7?
I believe, I'm just gonna just speak in my perspective of the situation, that is a possibility that during the pandemic, you guys, it must have gotten real rough for like designers, artists, bloggers, anyone who has these small little businesses, and I feel like it must have been a struggle for them as well to keep alive. So I won't be surprised that they're trying to get money back from push up the prices, because everything else is making more, and maybe 9% time more the artwork, more the paperwork, more the computer work. Maybe for their side it must be more, and they try to push up the prices. So I kind of feel like, as a business of myself, like I just feel like if the economy was just shut down and now everybody's going back up again, I'm assuming they're doing, everybody has to struggle now to just regain the money that they lost during the year of the pandemic. So in my honest opinion, I think things has been raised up as well, prices, and I think that's why they had to raise up for us. But I do say, whoever has Webtoon, they are asking for you guys to read upcoming books, so you can gain 3 coins or 5 coins. Yeah, I mean, depending what you read. I don't know if you got those type of bonuses, Samantha, where you're able to read all these books, and all you gotta do is actually just click on it, scan through it down, and you get the coin. Yeah, I mean, so I just feel like they're finding ways for even their customers to not feel like, oh my God, I'm wasting more money now. But they find ways for us to able to, like, okay, here's a trick that you guys need like 3 coins if you read all these books. You know what I mean? Yeah. They find ways. They're trying to find ways. They are trying to just find ways. Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah, I've gotten notifications about that too, but I just honestly, I just be like, look here, I just want to read my book, please. Yeah, I understand. I do want to support people, but I'm just like, I just want to read my Lore Olympus, like I get it.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you.
Yeah, there's other things that I'm supposed to read up on, and I've kind of fallen off on, but I'm gonna get back into it. I promise. It's just been a lot, because I'm also reading books on my phone and trying to clear up all of the stuff that I still have pending in my queue and whatnot. So I got so much stuff that I'm reading and doing right now. So it's just been hard for me to try to like get into everything. So yeah, but I definitely want to get back into reading other stuff. It's just that Lore Olympus is just like the hot thing for me right now.
I think for everybody.
Yeah, so I'm just investing my time into that until Rachel says otherwise. you know.
Like, that's it. But
Yeah.
Rachel, we love your book. Continue going, because you got us reading this. Even though I got a busy schedule, I do make my mission to catch up. So I'm like, I definitely am a fan. And as you can see, adults who are listening to this with their, with their teens, whoever reads this book, whatever age you're in, don't feel like you're gonna be left out. Trust me, if you read, just read it and see the bigger outcome, and just give it a shot. Trust me, you'd be surprised with this book really has horror and stuff. And those who are fans, you already know what it is. Keep reading. We're all there trying to wonder what's the next step and what is gonna happen with Haiti and Persephone.
Yep, no doubt. I know it was a long episode. I mean, I think our first episode was long too, but I think this is like, we really tried to like cram all of season 2 into like over an hour of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just a lot. But yeah, Abby, once again, I gotta thank you for joining us today on this lovely day.
Thank you for inviting me. I can't wait to the next time I come back. Let's see what happens in season 3.
Yay! And I know that I'm just thankful, because it's like, we've been through it. We've been through moments where we're like, we felt like it was dragging a bit, and there was moments where we picked up, but season 2 was just a lot to cover, and I think there was still things that we didn't really get to talk about, but it's fine. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll just remember it, and when we get, when we're like talking off air, we'll probably,
I think our next vlog, or next time we talk about, is what is the flaws of the book. Maybe that'll be a good opening for our next time, when we talk about, there were certain things that I paid attention. Sometimes the chapters kind of like, so we probably will discuss that. I do remember there was some parts I was like, wait, it's good, but there is some flaws, you guys. So next time we discuss more, when we observe more about this book.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about the probably the cons of Lore Olympus, only because we want to be fair, and we realize that we can't always talk about everything that's good about it. So I realize we do talk about it like nonstop, but there are some noticeable things that I picked up on, and I'm just like,
what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think we'll get into it another time.
Save it next time. Exactly.
I'm like, nope.
Nope. Save it for the next time. Bye, you guys.
Bye, Abby. And also, guys, before we go, Abby, can you just give us your socials real quick?
Oh yes, please add Moonstruck Company in IG, Instagram. I also found Twitter, Facebook. Please add me there to find more information of what I also do outside from this wonderful podcast from Samantha K Experience.
Yes, guys. And you can also find me on Linktree at Samantha K EXP at 218. And you'll see all my links there in the description. I have a lot of links. I have Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram. I'm just on Twitter. I'm just all over the place right now. So I have a lot of social media that I'm trying to keep on track of, and plus my own blog page at the Samantha K Experience.blogspot.com, where I'm up to date with all my book reviews and TV show stuff. And I also made a page dedicated to the podcast, where you can see links for all the previous episodes up to I think episode 4 of this season. I have to put the links up for the last episode and also this episode this evening, so you'll have all the past episodes up to date, guys. Once again, thanks, Abby. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Not a problem. Thank you for the invite.
You're welcome. Anytime. We'll come back and do a part 4. We're going to talk about the cons of Lore Olympus, or we could talk about something else. Who knows?
I'm excited.
Me too, girl. All right, guys. This has been Samantha K, and this has been the Samantha K Experience. Take care. See ya. Bye.
That was so